how you doing? So today we are going to work on the How to Port a Chainsaw series, and today we are going to do a comparison video. So we are planning on showing you how to port a chainsaw, and I'm doing it on a partner P70. It is a vintage saw, and we're going to use some vintage techniques. Well, today we are going to do a comparison. We're going to compare the P70 to a Holtz Forma 65cc version of a 372. So that's what this video is all about. We're going to compare those two saws. We're going to put them in the wood and see how they perform. We're going to get to see the P70. We're going to see the 372, and we're going to see them side by side. And then afterwards, we'll have a little discussion, and I'll kind of tell you where we're headed. Alrighty, now we are going to follow the Two-Stroke Tuner's Handbook on this process. So if you are interested, there are copies available online, or you can pick a copy up off of eBay. There are still copies out there, and they are available for you to get. So don't forget to get your copy of the Two-Stroke Tuner's Handbook. That way you can follow along with the decision-making process, because we are going to take suggestions straight out of the book and apply them to our build. Now, if you're interested in this sort of stuff, make sure to get your subscription in, and don't forget to hit that alarm bell, because you need that if you want to receive notifications of whenever I post a new video. So don't forget to do that. Alrighty. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that. That's the 372, cutting some oak, and that saw is actually getting shipped. It's getting sent down to Bellhopper. He is going to build that saw for me, and he's going to do that while I'm building this P70. But there's something I want to point out to you. See, both of these saws were not using the same bar, and they were not using the same chain. But what I did is I set the 372 up a little more aggressive than the P70. The 372 has a more aggressive raker, more aggressive grind than the P70. But the thing I want you to notice is how much the 372 was stalling in the wood. You could tell this chain was a little more hungry. Where the P70, you're going to notice it's a smoother cut. I work a lot less hard on it. So, the end cut speeds may not be the same, but I kind of wanted to take this opportunity to show you a comparison on different styles of sharpening as well, as the P70 is a lot smoother cutting. It was a lot easier for me to handle in the wood and everything. Now, somebody who's been speaking of this a lot lately is Walter up at a Fleet Command. He keeps talking about this a lot, how a super aggressive chain sucks. In like a bore cut situation, and I've been kind of playing with some of his suggestions, and I'll tell you, I do kind of agree with them on this. If you get too aggressive on the chain, it gets kind of chattery in the wood, and it's really not a pleasure to run. It's not. You really got to hang on and be careful and all that stuff. So I am finding myself that a little less aggressive chain is something I do prefer. But if you want to hear more about this subject, pay attention to some future videos, or, go up there and watch Walter at a Fleet Command, and you'll get to learn a little bit more on that subject. But for today, we are comparing these two saws, but I wanted to make sure I was clear about these chains. They are not the same. They are not sharpened the same. So today is more of a comparison of the two saws, because in the future here, we are going to compare the cylinders. So, to kind of look at how they perform, and the different performance gains we might be able to get out of P70. So I wanted to put this video together for you. So what do you say we get on with it and watch this P70 run, and then we will put up some footage side by side. Alrighty. so there you go. There's the P70 versus the 372, cutting some oak, and I hope you enjoyed that. So there we go. The 372 is definitely outperforming the P70, but you know, we're going to see what we can do with the P70, see how much performance we can get out of it. You know what I mean? Now I'm actually working a video ahead of you. You guys are watching, so I'm working on probably 1 or 2 videos ahead of you. In fact, I've actually got the P70 sitting in front of me. Did you see the wheels on it? So the video I'm actually working on here is getting all the numbers. So at least you know where we're headed in the future. I'm going to show you the squish, getting all the numbers, show you how to find them, and all that stuff. That's the video I'm working on right now. It's a pain in the butt to make sure I don't miss any steps, you know. I hope I get everything. But, you know, there's already been some questions coming out there. And I hope that through this video series, I get to address all the issues or all the questions that do come up. So don't be afraid to ask a question. I will either reply it in your comment or we'll make a video about it or something. So I hope you enjoyed this. But yeah, stay tuned. We are going to start tearing this all down. We're going to get the numbers and all that stuff, and then we're going to compare it to a 371. This is a 371, which is pretty much the same as the 372, but we're going to check and compare it to a 372 style cylinder and see what the differences are in the actual cylinder design, and then we will continue to make our decisions from that point. Our plan is to try to turn this up as hot as we can, but we got to be realistic. Sometimes you're limited to what the design can do, so we got to see what's available. I haven't pulled this off yet, so I am actually really close to getting to that stage, and you know, I hope it turns out as good as I'm expecting. But if it doesn't, hey, we have a plan B, so we'll get into plan B in the future. There's always a plan B. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video, a little comparison between the P70 and the 372. And both saws are getting ported. The 372 is actually shipped right now. It's getting built by Bellhopper himself. He offered to take care of that build for me while I work on this stuff. So, you know, it's a team of us working on putting my little arsenal of saws together, and Bellhopper is handling the 372. There's some other people out there who are going to be building for me as well. You know, we're kind of working as a team now. So it's a little goal of mine to try to get a little team of us working. But I hope you enjoyed this on the how to port a chainsaw video series. Don't forget your subscription and hitting that alarm bell. And up next, we will be diving into the engine and getting into the particulars. So don't forget to read the Two-Stroke Tuner's Handbook, specifically the section on squish, because that's what we will be addressing first. Alrighty, thank you, and catch you on the next one. Later.